Yo, what's going on? How are you? How are you today? It's raining today, which is better than snowing, certainly. So a bit of gloom in the skies. So to counteract that, I'm wearing my Shumi Sunshine Watch. Way too much yellow for one man to bear, but just took it in and excited to get it some wrist play. And today's episode is going to be a combo. Watch news, buy this watch, and ride along. Because there's some things happening I just wanted to talk about, and I'm being honest, I love to roll when I want to talk about stuff. So, watch news, I'm going to talk about watches and wonders. Yes, I'm late to the party, but I'm not a formal journalist, so if I want to talk about it, I don't have to be day and date with the releases. And then buy this watch, which is based on that. And then lastly, riding. Did you buy any watches this past week? Because I did. I went a little Richter scale, but I'm priced in, so it's cool. All right, watches and wonders. Christian and Michael over at TNH did a fabulous breakdown on those releases, and Teddy Baldessari did a fabulous review of the watch that I want to talk about today. So, Rolex release, left-hand drive, GMT. Added to the pile of Rolexes I can't get. It's not for me personally, the design taste. I love that they brought out a left-hand drive watch for the 10% of left-handers out there who probably feel left out of most watch purchases. Even if I could get one, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd buy it, sell it. I need to own and operate. It's just not my watch. Kind of cool though. The Tudor GMT, the hollaback to the 1655 Steve McQueen, even though Steve never owned it that we can tell. I don't know why I got that name. I like the Mark II, the Bill Yao homage to this watch, because the bezel rotates on that one, which is amazing. And the Rolex one, the Tudor one, that bezel doesn't rotate. But at least with these new Explorer 2s and this Tudor one, the GMT hand isn't tied to the main hour hand. The original 1655, it was locked. You couldn't set them independently. When I found that out, I had to take the 1655 off of my dream list because I'm not a spelunker, right? But I will say that that Tudor GMT is beautiful. It's way too thick. Their stuff is just too thick for what it is. And I owned the Steinhardt years ago. Years ago, I owned the Steinhardt homage to it, and it was cool. It was a good watch. I ended up not wearing it, but even though Steinhardt is 97% an homage company, they make a good product. They make a great watch for their price range, right? Who owns Steinhardt? Like, who is the face of Steinhardt that we can talk to and say, hey, you're pretty good with your execution. Maybe we divert some of that money to design and we get something fresh, new, and only you. They have a couple pieces that are somewhat unique-ish. I love their race timer. It's just too big. That would be the first thing I would say. Hey, bring out a 40mm race timer. I will buy it and I will probably wear it often. And then lastly, Vacheron Constellation VC with the deuces watches. Deuces, deuces, deuces. Love this watch. For me, it's the belle of the ball. Just gorgeous. It's got to be heavy though. It's pure gold. Hold on, I gotta do some dangerous driving because there is some malfeasance happening up here. I can always tell when I'm sitting in traffic that I don't need to be sitting in based on where I'm going. It's just a weird spider sense. But the Vacheron Deuces watch, love it. I stumbled on the original, the 70s era one, somehow on Chrono, And you know me, I don't roll this heavy. It's fun to talk about it because I think it's beautiful. 45 grand if you can get it. I think I cruised it on Chrono the other day just to see what was out there. 60, 70, 80. My favorite part of it is absolutely the cross in the lower right corner on that, in that lug case junction area. Beautiful. Just a beautiful watch. I'd prefer it in steel because of wearability, but just epically beautiful. And it's not a watch I'll own. I just 45 grand. You could probably get a nice BMW for that. Used, probably. I don't know. Great piece. I remember those are the originals from back in the day when I was looking at them 3-4 years ago. I think 7 or 8. And so that's Watches and Wonders. That's your watch news for today's episode. Buy this watch for today. I'm not suggesting you buy the Deuces watch unless you roll heavy. Get it if you roll heavy. That's the one I would buy if I was in the market for AP Royal Oak, Nautilus, Aquanaut. I'd get the VC Deuces. That would be, high-end integrated bracelet watch. That's the one I would go for. It's just, I love it. Love it. But if you don't have 45 grand sitting around burning a hole in your pocket, there is another one that's out there, and it's made by Omega. It's the Omega Constellation. I'll pop up the reference number because I think it's one of those weird 6 or 7 digits ones, like with a decimal in the middle. And I didn't look it up, but I saw it, and it's 18 karat. It's all gold, bracelet, everything, and it is very reminiscent of the general proportions, design aesthetic of the Deuces watch. Yes, it has an unusual bezel that I'm not particularly high on, but still pretty rad. And I'm not a gold guy. I like titanium. That's my favorite watch material. But if you're looking for something in that space, and maybe you've got 6 to 10 grand you want to spend on a special piece, a gold piece, a dress watch that has that similar aesthetic, check out this Omega. I saw one. I was tracking one because I was going to drop it in, but it sold the other day, and it sold for I think 6,800, which is no small sum, I realize. But if you're in the market for that, and particularly if you dig Omega, and especially with the price of gold going up and up and up. Although I went to a watch dealer in Philadelphia when I had reason to be out in that part of the state, and he had a Piaget all gold watch there, which I'm semi-inclined to mention it. It's only slightly in the vein of the Deuces. It's not, but slightly, ever so slightly. And we were going back and forth on price because I think it was at 45 or 5,500, and he was heavily referencing the price of gold relative to what he was charging for that piece. And yes, incrementally, the fluctuation in gold, but you're not going to buy this watch and melt it down, right? Probably not. So I don't know. This Omega is rad. It's beautiful. It's all gold, if that's your flavor, and might even scratch the itch for the Deuces watch. Or, save up, sell a kidney, and buy the Deuces watch. So I wanted to keep this one short since it is a Monday. We had some watch news. We had some buy this watch. And we had a ride along. Pretty cool. All right. I hope you have a lovely day wherever you is at. Have yourself a great one. All right. Peace.